Hi friends, today we're going to learn about how to turn all of the art that we've made about France into a mini museum. The first thing you'll need to do is go back through your sketchbook, and if it exists in other places, find all of the art that we've done this year that has to do with France and French artists. Then pick your favorite pieces. There may be some that need to be finished. We'll take care of that too. You may also have some art that you didn't make with me during our art time, but if it has to do with France, it could totally go in your mini museum about France. Now, once you've selected the pieces for your museum and you have gone back in and finished up adding any details that you think could improve your piece, there may be some that are a little bit too big to fit on the walls of your museum. There's a couple things we can do to fix that. We can trim the edges if it just needs to be smaller by a teensy bit, or you can snap a photo using an iPad, print the picture in the size that would fit inside the walls of your mini museum. Of course, once you print it, you can cut off the edges and do a little cropping. Cropping means you're kind of cutting off the parts that you don't really need. So if you caught like the spiral of your sketchbook in the photograph, you don't really need that in the finished printout that will go in your museum. Once you've selected the artwork for your mini museum and you've finished up any unfinished pieces, it is time to start planning where they're going to go and how they fit on the 3 panels of the inside of your 3-part board. Once you play around with where they might go and seeing how they fit, you have to decide if you want them to overlap or if they want to have their own space or border. We'll also be adding frames to each of these, so that's something to take into consideration as you're positioning and planning where your pieces will go. You may have to edit, meaning take out one if it doesn't quite fit, and then you could just take it home. You could also glue it or attach it to the reverse side of your museum so it has an inside and an outside. Sometimes trimming just a little bit off the edges can be helpful to make them fit, but make sure that you're not trimming away any important parts of your artwork. Next up, we will add borders, and those borders can be done on black or gold, or black and gold paper. The black and gold just gives it a nice kind of a frame around it to really make it look official, because often when we go to museums, we see pictures displayed in frames. So we're going to give each of our pictures a frame, and again, it could be just on black paper, depending on what fits. I use a glue stick to attach the piece of art to the black paper and the gold paper. And I always do the edges first, 4 edges, and then an X down the center. Now to attach it to the wall of the museum, you can use tape bubbles, and those are kind of removable because you could detach that from the wall without damaging the wall of your museum, or you can use sticky tack. You can also add a label that tells what the piece of art is, who made it, and what you used to create that art. In addition to gluing down and positioning all the beautiful 2D artwork inside your museum, you may also remember we created our Niki de Saint-Phalle sculptures out of modeling clay, and that can go kind of in the middle of your museum once the walls are standing. When you bring this home, you can present your museum to friends and family, telling them all about the amazing French art and other French things that you learned about this school year. Have fun creating, friends!